Hi guys, can you see and hear me? Everybody? Are we okay? Oh my gosh, guys, the stress. Whew, I need a drink. Okay, all right, just give me a minute because I'm actually shaking. I was so scared. I'm not technological, guys. Okay. Whew. Okay. Hi everybody, welcome. Finally, I'm so sorry for all the technical difficulties. There was a moment, but we made it and we're here. It's all good. Welcome to Black Girls Brunch, a drink with Victoria Sanusi. I am so excited to have you guys join us. Thank you for your patience. Yes, if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I promise I don't run the technological sides of it, so it's not usually like this. So please do subscribe because we have great content for you guys and we hope you enjoy it. I have actually done this speech already, but I realized I was doing it to a completely blank screen. So anyway, I'll do it again. I'm really so excited to be speaking to this beautiful, talented, multifaceted, yes, queen of a woman, Victoria Sanusi, who we're all here to just learn from, let her impart all of her wisdom onto us, please. If you don't know who she is already, she is an accomplished, highly accomplished journalist. She's been featured in Vice, ID, Stylist, BuzzFeed. We could go on, okay? We could go on. That's why we have her here because, hello, highly decorated. We love to see it. And she is also the co-host of an award-winning podcast, Black Girls Living. And all the details should be in the description box. I believe I put it, but then I had to switch over, so hopefully it's all there, but if not I will re-upload it. But all of her details will be in the description box, so please do follow her, obviously engage with her content, and yeah, let's just support. So we've already wasted enough time with my technological ineptness, so let's get on to the actual interview and who you guys came to see, the lovely Victoria Sanusi. Okay, I'm gonna add her. Hopefully this works, guys. Bear with me, please. Okay, wait. Add.
Hey.
Oh, we can't hear you. Is that me? Is that my fault? Am I going to do something? At the bottom where it says mic, is it muted? Your mic?
It's on.
Oh, I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me? Okay.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
It's on.
Oh, I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah.
I think I have a delay on my side.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you for joining us.
It's no worries.
I'm so sorry for the slowness and the technological difficulties and the new links, but we're here, we made it, and it's all okay. Thank you for your patience. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's no worries. It's fine. It's fine. It's
fine. Also, just a top tip, well, for everybody watching, Victoria and we filmed some exclusive content, some cute little quick fire questions. So if you guys want to see her really fun, actually, answers, then become one of our patrons and you can unlock all this lovely content. There's people saying hi in the comments. It's really cute. I don't know if you can see.
Hey guys.
It was really exciting. Okay, so hi Victoria. How are you, my lovely?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, thank you for the Prosecco. The lovely people at Black Girls Brunch sent me Prosecco and chocolate 2 times because they're so on job. So you guys are amazing. So yeah, thank you.
Well, mine is apple juice, but a drink. I hope everyone else watching has got some sort of beverage,
Yeah, I've only got a little bit. Mine's I usually mix it with elderflower or Sprite. I can't drink too much on the weekdays.
And see how you're already dropping gems, guys. Okay, Prosecco, elderflower, and or Sprite. I love it. New cocktail.
So nice. I always have it. There's a brunch I go to in London. Is it Megan or there's another place? And they always have it. It's so nice.
Yeah, Megan's, we actually, fun fact, we've got a series called Brunch Hotspots on our YouTube channel where we review brunch places. And one of the places coming up, one of the videos coming up, we went to Megan's.
Oh, so, amazing. Yeah, I love it there. It's so good.
Yeah, it's good. It's really pretty as well.
Very Instagram friendly.
And that's what it's about. But obviously the food is important, but the pic.
Yes, that too.
So I've got so many questions for you, and I want to get to our questions. And we had so many questions sent in as well, which was so exciting. I thought that was like really nice to see. So I guess the first question is kind of a broad question, but I want to know why journalism? Like, why this is a career? Why?
Why? Why? I think I always wanted to tell stories. I always wanted to tell stories.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be a scriptwriter when I was younger.
Wow.
Yeah. Then I was just like, actually, I think I want to write columns. I want to write for magazines because I used to always like read magazines when I was younger, and I think I was like, actually, I want to do that. I want to write stuff that's funny, witty, or reports, or features, or find where it's best for me to fit in journalism. So I knew I wanted to do it. In fact, I wanted to be a weatherwoman, and it's so funny because my old friend from when I was about 5 years old, she messaged me like a year ago, and she was like, "Hey Vic, just reconnecting," and she was like to me, she was like, "Do you remember when we were 5 and you said you wanted to be a weatherwoman?" I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I said that!" Like, wow, queen of manifestation, queen of manifesting herself to media. But yeah, that's pretty much the short story of how.
That's really cool, and it all makes sense. It's not like, oh, I wanted to be a scientist and now I'm a journalist. Like, there's definitely a journey.
Yeah,
which
I think so.
is good. So when you decided this is what you wanted to do, how did you, being journalism, how did you get into it? Like, what was the journey for you?
Well, I made sure that my course topics at college were kind of like media, social media and communications and sociology kind of focused. So it would be okay for me to study journalism at uni, which is what I did. And then I did a lot of like extracurricular activities. Whenever people say that, it sounds like they're referring to fornication, but basically I was in I was in extracurricular activities at uni, being involved at the student media and like writing for the local newspaper, and then doing internships. Then eventually I got a job at BuzzFeed as like an intern, like a fellow, and then I worked there for about. Then I progressed to I got promotion as a news reporter. I stayed there for maybe like 3 years. Then I got poached to work at iNews, and then from then I became freelance. Sorry, my phone keeps going off.
No, it's okay.
What do people want? What do you want from me?
The link.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I got to where I am.
That's really cool. And when you say, can I just say the flex that it takes to say I got poached, like that means you were so good that someone else wanted you to come in.
You know, I feel like Black women we should say that because sometimes I don't, because I'm like, I don't want people to think, oh, you got poached, but it's like I think we should actually normalize bigging ourselves up and being like, actually, I got poached. Yeah, I mean, the place I got poached to wasn't the best, but I think there's Black women we should see our worth and know that that's because we are great. And when you do get poached, ask for more money because you're on demand. That's what it's about, you know.
Always ask for more money. It doesn't matter, ask for more money. That's it. So you obviously now brought up being a Black woman. So what is it like being a Black woman in this industry? And I understand this is probably a massive question. So, don't feel, but yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it can be very exhausting.
Right.
You know, I've been in situations where I've been the only Black person in the whole newsroom, or being asked to write solely on trauma-related pieces on Black livelihood, or just witnessing stuff like witnessing mix-up of Black people and people not showing remorse, or even just on social media, just seeing the way in which some journalists want to tell Black stories, obviously non-Black writers, it is disheartening. And all of that can just make you feel like, why should I even be in this industry? Because oftentimes it doesn't even pay that well, you know. But there's so many positives, like being able to. I'm now able to become. So I often, as a freelancer, do commission and editor work. So I'm able to commission Black women, which is amazing because Oh, sorry.
That's all
I
right.
feel like, what's that noise? 1 second. I might text my brother, but like, what was that? What is that noise? 1 second. I won't be long. I won't be long.
It's fine. We'll chill here.
Thank you.
Guys who are watching, if you guys do have any questions, she's
So
we do have a lot of questions that have been sent in, but if you guys do have any questions for Victoria as this kind of stream progresses, please pop them in the comment section, or you can DM us. Actually, please don't DM us because I won't be looking at the social media at this point, but pop them in the comment section or email us because we'll get the emails, and we'll just wait for Victoria to come back. And while we're here, tell a friend, send a friend the link. They should all be watching. Oh, she's back. Okay. I'm gonna unmute.
all is well.
Hello, is all okay?
Yeah, all is well. I thought something was happening in my house, but everything's fine.
And that's good. We love it. We have to see it. Okay. I don't know what it was we were talking about because I was speaking to the audience when you left.
I can't remember either. I feel like I was talking for long.
Oh, hello. We're here to listen to you, not me. So the longer you're talking is the better. We were talking about what it's like to be a Black woman, and you were saying how now that you get to commission other Black women writers and things like that, and you were just talking about that.
Yeah, that's really great, and it means that more Black women get bylines, and they have to get their voices heard, and they're able to talk about issues within the way they want to write it, rather than just writing about trauma pieces. They can write about fun stuff, stuff that means the world to them. But yeah, I think there's good things like being able to have Black women in the media who are my friends. That's something that I've made like lifelong friends from Black women in the media. And it's sad because we've all kind of bonded on the fact that because of the trauma. But now now they're actually my friends, so it's great. But yeah, there's highs and lows, but
yeah, no, that gave us actually a well-rounded view of it. And I mean, the beginning where you had to just deal with the trauma stories, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I'm so sorry that you had to deal with that, but I'm glad we're journeying. It's always and like, speaking of being a Black woman in journalism, are there any other Black women in journalism that inspire you, and like why? Who and why?
Yes, Toby Rachel. So she's a journalist. She used to work for Metro. She's worked for Enemy, Evening Standard. This goes on. Now she is an editor at Talia. Is it Talia or Tala? I can't remember. It's a part of the Unilad Bible family.
Tyler.
That's it. And she's just phenomenal. She's got a podcast called Yellow Cup, and I think she's just an incredible journalist. Like, she's just so on it, and she's so just so intentional, and just so like, the work rate is like mad. The work rate is really mad. Like, I admire her work rate so much. Like, I want to be as good as her. Like, I look at her and I'm just like, damn, like, I need to, whenever I see her do stuff, I'm like, damn, I feel inspired to put in the work. Yeah, she really inspires me.
But that's really good as well, because just as she was that person for you, you're now going to be that person for another little girl or another little Black girl. And so it's really important to have come on, you're doing bits, of course. Even if they're not little, even big women, like, it's emotional. So it's nice to see that kind of progress as well. So I guess away from, well, I mean, can you ever be away from being a Black woman? But then the stuff that comes with being a Black woman in journalism, what other challenges, I guess, come with being a journalist, like, as a whole?
I think challenges that come with being a journalist are, people. Do you know what? Yeah, I even forgot about this. When I used to work at BuzzFeed, people were on my actual asshole. Like,
really?
Like, for example, I think it's because of where you work. So I think this is the thing about being a journalist I hate, is when you work somewhere, people think that you are a representation of that company. Sorry, too much probably. Oh,
sorry, it's too much prosecco.
Yeah. So it's like, people think, if if something happens that somewhere or something goes wrong at a publication, even when I was an intern, people would be asking me on Twitter like, give me give me a statement. I'm just like, I don't know. Or for example, there's this thing, I'm sure you know, people are like, oh, BuzzFeed steals tweets to put in articles. So
Yeah.
whenever I remember I'd interview someone and they once said to me, oh, I'm so happy you're writing a piece about me and what I do, but I need to ask why BuzzFeed steal tweets. And I'm like, what? Like, what? Why do you want to be in a publication that you claim steals tweets?
Yeah.
Anyways, it's just like, yeah, I think that's kind of annoying when people think that you are that embodiment of that publication. It's like actually no, I just work here and it's a job. Like
Yeah,
it's not really, it's not my father's company. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm literally just working. Same way you work your job.
right.
It's the way I'm working this job.
And that kind of doesn't make sense, because if you didn't write the article that was stealing the tweets, then why would you know? You know what I mean? Like if it was your specific article, then sure, but I don't.
Yeah, it was just an annoying kind of thing where people just thought that they stole tweets. Like the thing is, I get it to a degree where it's like, you're bantering about a topic and the next day all the tweets are collated into a BuzzFeed article. Unfortunately, tweets are you're allowed to embed tweets. If someone, most journalists are actually wicked. Like if you say to a journalist, can you take my tweet out of an article? They'll be like, no, because legally I can embed anything. Whereas I'm really nice. Like when I was a reporter, I'd be like, that's absolutely fine, but yeah, you're legally allowed to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you read your terms and conditions before you click accept on Twitter.
Yeah.
On them, you gotta make sure.
Yeah, because I had this one guy. He was like, publications pay me to add my tweets and articles. I was like, that you're lying. They don't do that because not even Twitter makes money from people tweeting like that. Like this is a lie. So yeah.
Sorry, you just gotta give people side eye. Like it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're just spewing that rubbish. But okay, and I will remember you.
So apart from stealing tweets, how do you choose what you're going to write about, and like what inspires you?
I feel like what I want to write about is often like if it's like I see a topic or I see a trend come up frequently, and I'm like, okay, I want to write about that.
Yes.
So back in 2017, I think, I wrote about the rise of Black women in publishing. And I just kind of noticed, like, we had Claire Yolene, we had Renee de Lodge, we had Otunga, I can't remember her last name, but she wrote that amazing book, The Little Black Book.
Yeah, Little Black Book.
And I just saw a rise of Black women in publishing, and I was like, okay, I can see a little wave happening here, and I really want to write about it. And my editor at the time, I was very lucky to have a Black editor, and she was very keen and very encouraging, and she was like, yeah, let's do this. And that's kind of how I know what to write about, and that's like, and that's and then when I share it on social media, because often the work I do is quite digital and people connect with it, I'm like, okay, that's it, like I've got it right. But I haven't really been writing that much because I usually do more commissions. So
get paid.
Yeah. But with commissioning, it's more like, but then again, it's I've worked somewhere that's kind of affected my confidence with writing. So now when I have amazing ideas, I prefer being a commissioning editor because like I have amazing ideas and I can give it to someone else to write, which is kind of like, I'd rather, yeah, I know it's something I'm working on. I hope to kind of let go this year next year, I hope to do more writing because I'm like, I have some really good ideas and it's like, maybe, but then part of me is like, that's what a good editor is, developing ideas with people and not being afraid to give away ideas, especially, I think, especially if you know that I'm not the right person to write this, like, especially if I know that, for example, a Black femme woman or a black woman in the LGBTQIA community would have been a stronger writer, or a trans woman or a trans person. So definitely in that regard, I think it's always really great to share the mic and not write on topics that I'm not an expert on or it's not my lived experience per se.
No, I totally agree with you, but also little point is don't let that stop you from writing, because your voice is valid. We want to hear what you have to say. And sorry, this is just turning into a little pep talk because I want to hear. I know what it's like to be in a job that affects your confidence in things and education and stuff like that. And it's the hardest thing to do. It's easy for me to sit here and say, just right. It's not, I know it's not, I'm a writer, it's not easy, but write for yourself, I guess, first, and then like, build up your confidence in that. And then, sorry, you didn't come here to get a pep talk.
No, do you know, I'm actually lying because I'm actually working on a piece right now. Like I actually have deadlines. Yeah. So I don't know why I say I haven't been writing. It's more so I haven't been writing stuff. I haven't been writing the pitches that I want to get out. Basically, it's more like people have approached me and I've written. I'm doing the things, but it's the ideas, because it's kind of like you have imposter syndrome because you're like, I don't know if people are going to connect with this, or is it better if I just give it away to someone else to write? And I'm like, no, Vic, like this is actually a really good idea. Maybe it's for you, sort of thing.
Do it. Go for it. I'm ready. Send me the articles. I'll read it. I'll proof it. I'll edit it. Whatever. I'm there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You touched before about what you're making a lot of digital content, and we have to talk digital content because that's basically what is being pushed right now. But before we get onto there, Clubhouse. So
I was literally just on it.
let me just tell people who are watching, in case they don't know, Clubhouse is, I guess it's new to me. It's this newish kind of social media app where you basically have these different rooms and they're kind of moderated by different people, and they can be, the topics that are spoken about are vast. Literally, it can be anything from like PR and marketing to vibes. So whatever it is covered. And Victoria's you're very active, like, because I follow you on Twitter as well, so you're always tweeting about it. Like, she's active, or I see you in like rooms and stuff like that. You're very active on it, which is great. I love it. Sorry, I don't even know what I was talking about. I was talking about Clubhouse. Wait. I was gonna ask how you've been finding it, actually. How have you been finding like using Clubhouse?
So I've been finding it really instrumental in some ways. So like, it's really, really got some incredible conversations, especially with Americans, because they're so confident. I love that about them. Like, they're like, introduce themselves. They're like, introduce yourself, your job, your experiences. Like, they don't shy away from that. Whereas in the UK, we're very modest. We're very much like, I'm a writer, but it's like, okay, you've won awards. Why don't you say you're an award-winning writer? But Americans, literally, they'll be like, hey, I'm a scholar from... I'm like, yes!
They give us ancestral history. We know everything, middle names. But they've taught me a lot, though. They've taught me a lot, because when I'm in the Clubhouse room now, like, I pick myself up, because at the end of the day, if you've got it, you need to say, this is what I do, this is who I am. I know you had a room about being a freelancer. I think I missed it.
This girl called Nikki, she's such an incredible journalist. So she started this room about being a freelance journalist, and like, it was the journal room. It was really, really good. But like, those kind of rooms are so instrumental, and they're so like empowering, and they're great. It's great to share information. And actually, in that room, we were talking about how to get paid as a journalist, and I was sharing some tips. And some girl actually messaged me the other day saying like, I've taken your tips on board. Sorry, I need to bring in bubbly.
I'm sorry. I actually feel bad.
No, it's not even Prosecco. It's because of the fizzy drink I put in it. It's my fault. Some girl, she was just like, because of your tips, I got paid for a piece, for a publication that I've written for before. I finally got paid. And I was like, good, because it's good that we're sharing information. But I think the thing is with Clubhouse, there's a piece actually on Black Ballad about how Clubhouse is at the detriment of Black women, and I truly think that it's like becoming a place where you're either talking smack about Black women, or you're talking about how to support Black women, and Black women are not even in the conversation. It's just become a hot mess, like, and it's always to bash Black women. And I just feel like, as a Black woman, I just feel like, when are we gonna have a space where we oh yes,
go on.
No, plug yourself. No, but you're right. Like, why can't we? And I know people will be like, oh, just ignore these rooms, but it's like, I'll just scroll and I'll see a page being like, why are Black women not good in bed, or why are Black women like this? And it's like, you can't even escape it. You can't escape this. So in that regard, it's kind of sad, but I've been blocking. I've been reporting these pages. So
you have to see it.
You have to,
block everything. No, because how dare you as well? Like, how dare you? Who called you? We didn't call for you, so
mm,
bye.
mm,
It can be very like debilitating, and it can get very overwhelming. But that's why we do have spaces like Black Girls Brunch, obviously, because it's a space like come and be with Black women. Even though we're all different, we all have a shared experience, and we all shared experience. I'm here. I love you. You know what I mean? So I'm sorry I had to deal with that on Clubhouse. But
no, it's not even just me, it's all of us. Like we all see it. We all see it. It's so unfortunate. Like sometimes you just want to bust a bit of banter, go on there to have a laugh, maybe. Next thing you know,
it's too much.
that comes back to me. It's enough. Like, please, let's have a break.
I was in the room and this guy started saying the N-word, and I was like he came in. I didn't see. He was swiftly removed. I assume it was, a non-black person. I felt attacked. Like everyone just kind of moved on with it, but they were more like Americans. I thought they were used to it. But me, I was sitting there like, I don't want to be called the N-word. Are you rude?
No, exactly. No.
So I'm aware of time because it was a bit late. So I want to get on to, because you're too talented. It's actually
You're so nice.
The podcast, the award-winning podcast. Let me just props. Black Gals Living. Obviously, your fans. Actually, I need to just shout her out because she's, Ludmilla, our our admin. He's been like basically, she's a big fan. She's actually she's the reason you're actually here. She was like,
wow.
Victoria, I love her. So I hope she doesn't hate me for saying this, but yeah, she.
That's so cute. No, that's so lovely. Like, that's so lovely. Thank you. Yeah. I'm gonna send her a message after this.
Yeah, send her a message. She's so fun. She was so excited. Okay, I'm gonna stop because she's gonna hate me. I love I've obviously listened to a few episodes and I love how it's like relatable. I love how it's funny. I love how it's just listening. You could be with your friends, but there's also like life lessons and things like that. Tell us about the podcast. What inspired it? How did it come about?
Thank you, by the way. So the podcast started, me and Jazz, we had this joke once. She sent me this long voice note. I was thinking, bloody hell, start a podcast. It was about Nicki Minaj. I literally just said, please, can you start a podcast? Because number one, this voice note is long, and number two, this is funny, and I think people would want to hear this. And she said, I won't start one without you. And I was just like, I don't want to start a podcast because I love podcasts. And one of my favorite podcasts in the UK that's not anymore was Millennials. And it was such a good podcast. And it was one of those podcasts where it made me feel, it really got me into podcasting. Like from there I started to listen to the read. Like I just got so sucked into it, But I never ever thought that I could do a podcast because I just felt like I'm already a journalist. Like I already have a platform in the media. Like I felt like, what else could I give, sort of thing. And then Jazz was like, actually, let's do it. Or maybe I messaged her, let's do it. I can't remember. One of us said, let's do it. So we just did it. We said, let's try it out first and see. And Jazz is one of my friends, like literally one of my closest friends, if not my best friend. And she actually is my best friend. And she's like one of the people I talk to about mental health. So I said to her, why don't we talk about that? And as well, just like talk about the stuff we talk about, really. And then we did that, and it worked, I suppose. But yeah, we didn't want to put pressure on ourselves with the first episode. We're just like, let's just do it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We're not forking out that much money, just studio time. And yeah, it worked. And here we are.
Brown Sugar Award winner, like 2019. It's what it is, isn't it? 2019? 2019, yeah? Or 2020?
Yeah. No, 2019.
2019, yeah, it's what it is. Like, hello, come on, we love it. I mentioned Jasmine, obviously your co-host, and it's funny that you say she's your best friend because how now that you guys are like obviously established, and the podcast is a living, breathing, business in a sense. How do you navigate the kind of personal, professional relationship with that?
Oh, that's absolutely fine. Like we are very much like we kind of said it from the beginning. Like we take turns to edit each week the podcast. Like if one person's feeling unwell, one person's like going through it, we'll just step up and help. We've not really had to cross that bridge of like butting heads or anything like that, and hopefully we'll never do that. But we're very honest with each other. Like if we're feeling away or we feel like we want to change something or we don't want to do something. We're very honest with each other. So, and I think we're both very cautious that we don't ever want to lose our friendship. So we're just very respectful, if we have anything that comes up. So yeah, I think it's really fine in that regard. Like, I'm very lucky if you put it that way.
Yeah, because I mean, friendships have broken up over less, so it's nice
Yeah.
that you have that strong bond. And like, how do you both decide on what you guys are going to talk about? Do you ever feel like constricted, like we can't talk about this, or how does it go?
Yeah, so we don't actually have any. We don't really plan what we talk about. If I'm going to be completely honest,
You
no.
don't script it. It's just
No, it just literally. Or like I'll see something on Twitter and I'm like, okay, I want to talk about that, but we will never really. I don't even send it to Jazz. That's the thing. I'll be like, I want to talk about this. It's kind of a little bit narcissistic in a way. How can I be like, I want to talk about this and we'll talk? But yeah, we never really message each other to be like, let's talk about this on the podcast. I think we just come to the studio and we just talk about whatever. Because usually sometimes it's like nostalgic stuff that we talk about, or mental health, or our own experiences. But yeah, we never really sit down with a list of topics. I mean, because I listen to podcasts that do that, and I'm like, oh gosh, I wish we do that. But I'm like, it is what it is. Like, in a way, I think it just gives us too much work. Like the way we're doing it is fine, and like, yeah.
And it works and it's successful and everyone loves it. So why, if it's not broke, I'm sure that's a saying. If it's not broke, it's not broke. It's great. Yeah. So your latest episode, Monday's episode, was sponsored. So no, but we love to say that's great. By Revolutions,
Makeup Revolution. Yeah.
How's that come about? How advice as well for people who want to get their podcasting content.
Get that coin. I just shot them an email, and they said yes.
You have to have like a certain amount of like listens, streams.
I have absolutely no idea because I just shot them an email about our information. I was like, this is our listeners, this is our social media. I haven't made ourselves a media pack with all like, this is the stuff we've achieved or stuff that we've done, our episodes and who we are. And luckily there's a Black woman who works there, shout out to Black women in PR. And she was like, yeah, let's do it. I think it's because we've always spoke about them on the podcast, and they had a candle collection actually. It came out, and when it came out, I said to Jasmine, I was like, I love this, and we love Makeup Revolution. I was like, imagine if you could do an ad with them. Then I said, let me email them and see what they say. And they said yeah. So, and that's how it happened. Honestly, I'm so shocked. I feel like a lot of the times we wish, like I said to Jazz, oh, imagine if we could have an ad. It's like, pitch it.
Yeah.
And the woman was like, a few people in the office actually listened to the podcast, and that just blew my mind because I was just like, even with the email, I was like pitching myself, like really being like, how's the best way we can come across, like, as professional or as amazing as possible, that's going to make them think, yes, we want to work with these people. And then for her to be like, actually, we already know about you. And it's like, wow, like a brand I'm actually wearing the blush, it's beaming. Like, I'm obsessed with the brand. So, and like when we had feedback from our audience, they were just like, yeah, like, you lot talk about them all the time. Like, we're really excited for you. So yeah, someone said it in the comments, shoot your shot. Definitely shoot your shot with brands. Like, if you're an influencer, or if you want to work in journalism, like, just shoot your shot. The other day, someone said something in a really good Clubhouse about journalism. It was like, you'll never be able to write for the New York Times unless you pitch to the New York Times. So no one's going to come and find you. You need to go and find them sometimes.
Yeah, that is so true. And you just have to step out, like, be there, do it anyway. Like, it's going to be scary. Do you have any like tips for like pitching or media packs, or how's the best way? Tell us.
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah. So with media packs, I would really recommend using this website called Canva. Or is it called Canvas?
It's called Canva, and we know it well at Black Girls Brunch. We know it well. Okay, and it's actually worth getting Canva Pro. Like, it's actually
it actually is. Have you seen the transparent thing they do on Canva Pro? Oh, you've been known.
I've been knowing. Okay, I'm not a graphic designer, but that's one.
But so good. Like you can make a media pack on there, you can make a CV on there, invoice, you can do anything on there, social media promo, anything. That's really, really key. So I made our media pack on there. And if you think, oh my God, how do I make a media pack? I think it's Stephanie Yaboa. I think it was her who kind of showed what her media pack looked like. If not, just Google media pack for influencers and something will come up and you can use that as a guide and you can literally kind of figure it out using that template. Because honestly, I don't even know if mine is correct, but it's getting me somewhere.
Got you paid. So listen, it's correct. It's actually correct. No, yeah, we made our media pack on Canva as well. It's extremely useful. It just makes it look professional, keep the brand aesthetic, so that makes a lot of sense. And then do you also send it with an accompanying email? Like how do you kind of just approach that?
Yeah, so when I've contacted brands, it will usually be definitely with an email, just been like, hey, my name's Victoria and my co-host Jasmine. We have this weekly podcast. We really love the service that you do, and like really talk about the service and be like, this particular item we love, or we've seen that you have this new collaboration. We think this is great, or we've seen this ad you've done, and we think we'd be great suited. And then give them kind of like some lines about what you like things like I said stuff like, oh, we were in Elle magazine, or we won some awards, and we've had a few celebrities on. So I think those kind of things make people go, oh my God. I hope anyway, Sha. But yeah, just sometimes you have to get in you have to pretend you're a manager and sell yourself. Pretend that you are an agent of yourself and just sell yourself anyhow. Because I feel like in this life, if you don't sell yourself, nobody's going to do it for you.
That's really
Like
good.
sometimes I don't have the highest confidence, but sometimes I think I used to have this mentality of dimming myself down because others would do it for me, or others would see the worth in me. And it's like I need to talk highly of myself, and I need to sell myself, because no one else in this earth is going to do it, especially as a Black woman. No one is coming to give me a really good job, or no one's going to give me a really good, amazing opportunity just because I exist. So I really have to put myself in people's faces.
No, that's really, really good advice. And you're right, no one's going to come and find you. You have to go to them and say, hello, hi, I'm here, I'm great. No, you're right. And thank you so much. That was invaluable advice. That was kind of more on like pitching and getting sponsorships. But just, I guess, if we have any potential podcasters watching, do you have any kind of advice or little tips that you could give to them about getting started, or maybe building their audience, or something like that?
Yeah, definitely. I think definitely just share your podcast. Like, don't be ashamed to share your podcast, even if it means that one person, like, for example, there's this really good service called Headliner, and you can make like little snippets of your podcast. So you can make snippets on like video, like iMovie, whatnot, but on Headliner you can add like audio waves. And like you can share those on social media, so you can share like the funniest bits, like 45 seconds. But what I'm trying to say is, don't be afraid to share it, because sometimes I get nervous and I'm like, gosh, like I'm sharing this, and like people probably are scrolling past it, they don't care, or they listen and they probably think you're not even funny, or you're lame, or whatnot. But it's like you just have to think, listen, if I have 100 followers and at least 10 people like this and 10 people tell their friends, you're gonna make waves. Just keep and just be consistent, but at the same time, don't feel pressure as well, because it is a hobby for me anyway. Sure, it's a hobby. Like it's a really fun hobby, and there's different ways to do it. If you feel like you can't commit to every week, you can do it like seasonal. So maybe you can do 5 episodes a season. But yeah, and I think don't be afraid to reach out to people to have them on your podcast, and also don't be disheartened if they say no or air you. It has nothing to do with you. It doesn't mean that you're not worth it. It doesn't mean anything like that. It might just mean that they're hella busy, or it just might mean that they're just full of crap.
Or they
So
don't
yeah,
want to come, and that's okay.
yeah, that's okay, because others will, exactly.
Yeah. No, thank you. That's amazing advice. Thank you very much for sharing that. And I want to know, this is like plug time, but this is also I'm being nosy. what do you have planned for the future? Any projects we should look out for? Anything you have? And don't worry if you don't, like, it's a pandemic today. But no.
There's one, but I can't actually say. But something really, really good is happening soon in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Yeah. Amen. Amen.
I have it, but I can't say.
Yeah. I hate people that do that. I'm just like, just don't say. So I kind of hate myself for just doing that. But yeah, I think, as I said, as we were discussing, hopefully more articles. Like I will continue to write more instead of just giving my ideas away. And hopefully more commissions, me commissioning people as well. But yeah, I just want to do stuff that makes me happy and makes other people feel like they're seen and makes other people feel good. That's all I want to do, like, with my work. So yeah, that's literally all I want to do next year.
That's good. And you know what? That's great. Like, it's great. It's great stuff. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. We like got so much information, but you know when you feel kind of motivated, like, yeah, I'm gonna go and, I don't know, save the world or something. We do have a lot of questions that have been sent into us. Them really quickly because I'm aware of time. Sure. But I wanted to just say, because we had a few people join us as well. Hello, guys. Welcome. If you do have any further questions, just pop them in the chat or email them to us. And I'm going to get into the questions we already do have. And also, if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe. We put out content every single week. I say that we didn't put it out last week, but it's okay because we did a live stream. So every single week we put out content. So please do subscribe to us. Okay, Victoria. Some questions for you. So somebody asked, what are the main pitfalls of breaking into journalism?
Pitfalls. I think one thing is, like, don't listen to the scaremongering. So a lot of people like to say this phrase, and it's true, that because you don't know people, you will never get into the media, or you'll never break in. So there's a lot of people, and I've seen a lot of privileged people say this, and I'm just like, please shut up. So people say this thing of, I don't know anyone. Well, I don't know if I did a posh accent. People be like, I don't know anyone in the media. I don't have any connections. I don't, my uncle. And I get that. I truly do. I didn't know anybody either. But what this thing is, you have to, like I said, make yourself visible. You have to keep applying for those jobs. You have to think outside the box. You need to, write for the local newspaper, get on the local radio. I know these things probably sound like, oh, I don't want to do that. That sounds lame, but these things look really sexy on your CV. Another thing is networking horizontally. So, like I said, my friend Toby.
That is my thing. Yeah. Oh, sorry, speak. Yeah.
No, honestly, like Issa Rae said it, network horizontally. Because some people, it's like they want to go to the top people. It's like when you network horizontally, you're all gonna come together. So within two, like, for example, Toby, the woman I was talking about at the beginning of the podcast, Toby Rachel.
Yeah.
Me and her, we've always been reporters. Literally, all our jobs have been like quite simultaneous, like and we're editors at the same time. But when I went freelance, she was able to put a good word for me at the Metro to be like, hey, my friend Victoria's freelance. Have you got anything going? And they were like, yeah. And if I didn't network with her horizontally, I would never have had those opportunities. And there's so many people who I know who are doing this, doing that, and like, hey, Vic, do you want to do this? Or even me, I'm like, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to, do this thing with me? And it's like, if you're just looking at people at the top and you're just like, I just want to get there, it's like you need to grow with your people. And that, I really, really think there's so much power in that, even to the point that when I was at uni, I did student newspaper. I was involved in the student media, and literally there's so many people who I did that with, who I'm still friends with till today. And like, if anybody needs a job or if anybody needs something, we all kind of have each other's back. I was actually at a recent media awards, and I actually bumped into one of my friends from the student newspaper. She was like, oh my God, I'm a freelance. I was like, yeah, let's talk, whatnot. Like, honestly, there's so much power in networking, and especially horizontally, even online. And now we have what's it called, Clubhouse, like, and also me saying that, just because you think someone is higher than you that doesn't mean you still can't talk to them. But I just feel like some people just neglect the fact that some people are there, paddies, like same level, so they're just like sort of thing. But it's just like, please, I really applaud you to kind of know what your neighbor is doing and how you can help them.
No, to preach. And I say at Black Girls Brunch, like one of the reasons we started Black Girls Brunch is to network. And I was saying, like, it's about networking horizontally. Like the people you meet, the people who you're there with, you don't know, like, especially as well, what I love is when they're in different fields. Like I know being in the same field has helped you, but you just never know like how links could happen, how opportunities can come about. Networking is key. And I feel like, yes, this might be oversaid, but it's because it's true. So
it's so true.
Thank you for that. Right, another question. Actually, I'm just going to go to one of the questions in the comments because otherwise I will forget it and it will just be a disaster. Someone said, hang on, I'm scrolling. I'm sure someone asked a question. Oh yeah, they said, what's your favorite story you have covered? So I guess like your favorite story you've covered so far.
Damn. I think one time I wrote this piece.
It's so hard, isn't it?
I can't think. Do you know? I'm gonna say. I think I once wrote this piece about young people in their late 20s and people in their early 30s living at home. And
okay,
actually, that's my favorite. I think probably one of. And it was like this massive piece. But what I wanted to make sure in that piece was, it wasn't just like rhetoric we hear on Twitter. It's like, what is the reason why people are doing it? I want to hear people's stories. I want to hear different stories. So I made sure that I did like a map, and I wanted to go like across the UK. So I found someone like up north, Manchester, Leicester, Scotland, all sorts. Like I wanted to make sure that it's not just a London-centric conversation. I wanted to talk to people who had made like career moves, like switch careers. That's why they're staying at home, not just like the normal reason why it's not affordable, because we know it's not. Or people who are just like, I generally don't want to live at home because my parents have literally made it so cushy. Like I spoke to, so there was one person I spoke to who lived in London, and his parents had turned their loft into like his own suite, and that guy's living. I'm telling you, that guy's living good. But
my parents, they're age mates. Send me it. They're sweet. People live different. People actually live different. That sounds really interesting though. And nice that you went I love that you didn't keep it in London. Like I love that we got like,
I think that's something a lot of news reporters do. I'm not saying I'm perfect, by the way, because I learned this actually on the job, not to be so London centric, because I think it just makes others feel excluded from the convo, and you're just reporting on echo chambers.
Yeah, you're totally right. It's something that we're actually working on at Black Girls Brunch as well, and our event next year, COVID willing, we are planning not to just be in London, so it's really exciting.
That's incredible.
Thank you. Okay, so someone asked, what are some mistakes that people make when they pitch to a newspaper, or I guess when they pitch an article?
Yeah, sure. I think the first thing people often do is send the full copy. So they already send the full article and attach it. Please don't do that, because people are mad and they'll teeth your work. They will teeth your work. Or they'll teeth ideas. I'm telling you right now. But also don't do that, because you could be wasting your time and they may say no. So you would have written it all for no reason. And even if they do say yes, they might want you to do it in a certain way. So again, you wasted your time. So just please don't do that. Just get into the point very quickly, because some people, their pictures are like 2 pages. It's like, it doesn't need to be long. Literally, you just need like 2 paragraphs, introducing yourself, going into the topic. Hey, this is what I want to write about. Maybe 3 points. This is what I want to write about. I think I'm great to write this because this piece will explore. I want to talk to this. A conclusion I want to draw from it is this. That's all you need to do. You don't even need to go into too much detail, but maybe give a headline. And that's it, really. I think another mistake people often do is not send it to the right editors. And I can't blame people, because sometimes it is hard to find commissioning editors. But if you go on my Twitter, I've go on my Twitter and click on media. I've done this like little tutorial on how to find editors' email sometimes.
Amazing.
It's often, if you, like, for example, want to find someone who writes advice, go onto Twitter and write down advice, and go on people, their names will come up, and then get their @ and then search their @ and search email. I'm pretty sure they've probably put their email out there. There's also this really good website called, I think someone said it on this clubhouse I was in yesterday. I think it's called Contact Finder, something like that.
Oh.
You can find people's contacts, but yeah. Or you can just DM a journalist and be like, hey, who's the commissioning editor, please? And someone will help you.
No, that's really interesting. And you know what? I love that you broke down like the paragraphs as well, because I think for a lot of people, like myself included, you think it has to be this big thing and you kind of like overcomplicate it. But the fact that you just intro, 3 points, conclusion type situation, it kind of makes it more manageable as well. Like, oh, I can do this. I can pitch.
Of course, yeah. No, it's true. It's very attainable to do, but I just feel like but it's not people's fault, because if you're not, for example, I went to study this, so that's how I know. If you didn't, then you wouldn't know, and that's the thing. I think people need to be. It's a bit. What's the word I'm looking for? Not safeguardy, but a bit. What's it when people don't know the information?
Oh, like. But I know what you mean. You think people are more open with like the knowledge.
Exactly. Or just.
I get it. And okay, so someone else, thank you. Sorry, I was just going to the next question. Someone else asks, what is your favorite type of journalism?
Favorite type?
It's an interesting question.
I do like being a news reporter. I like it, but I would never do it again. I say never say never, but it is the most exhausting type of journalism. Like, you are working around the clock, especially when I worked for an American company. I would get home and still work because you're interviewing people over in the States. And especially if it's like a viral story, you need to do it. Like, I need to do it. I don't want to miss out on those views. I do love being a news reporter, especially when I was able to like just write on social media, social justice, Black people, Black women, women of color. It was really fun. But I do love doing features, especially when I can do features that I'm like, okay, no one's really talking about this, and I really think that I could do a really good job. For example, when I said about the Black women in publishing article, because a lot of people are like, oh my God, like, how did I not notice this trend? And like, now I've seen people write about it, but now I'm like, the trend is so glaringly obvious, you'd be a fool not to write about it. But I think back then it was quite, I don't even think it was 2017. I really think it might have been before that. But yeah, I think those are my
head of the curve.
Yeah, but it's very hard to be, because sometimes even with that article, I do this thing where I see trends and I want to write about it, but I'm like, I don't have the confidence, or I don't think it is a trend. I don't think anybody will care, or I'm just too busy. And then I see someone else write it, and I'm like, oh, that's really annoyed me.
That's how you gotta go for it. It doesn't matter. No, I know how you feel, and it's interesting because you always think that somebody else is more qualified than you, when it's actually like, no, like, let me just do it and see. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I know that feeling well. So we had a few more questions emailed, but someone in the comments did say, did you ever have a moment where you felt that the color of your skin pressured you to fit into society or the industry? I guess by industry, journalism, or maybe podcasting.
Felt the color of your skin, like the pressure to fit in. No, I felt like there was nothing I could change. I'm Black. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the one I can't, even if I talk the way you talk, them not talk, or did the same things, it still wouldn't negate the fact that I'm Black. I think the only thing I would say is I felt that the pressure to go to the pub. I felt the pressure to do that.
Sorry, that's such like workplace pressure as well, like going out for the drinks and stuff like that. And yeah, I know that. Well, I don't know it, but I hear it. I hear it.
But like, I feel like oftentimes in British culture, it's very much like the only pressure I felt like is to be fake happy. Like, they come into work and they're like, in the morning, it's like brah brah brah, like talking bears in the morning. Like,
it's too much.
And like, it's overly sharing. So I think I did feel a pressure to fake share. So in a way, like, I'd fake share in a way, like, so it would make them feel like. Actually, to answer your question, yeah, I do think I felt pressure, but in a way that I navigated in a way that I was lying to myself. So, one, going to the pub and staying there until God knows, even if I hated it. 2, lying to them and making people feel like they knew stuff about me. So I feel like if people don't know stuff about you at work, it kind of grates them a little bit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
if you don't have a problem, they're kind of like, why don't you share it? Like, so my problem at work was that I wanted to move out with my boyfriend and rent. This is not the case because I like. So I would say to
Oh
them,
my gosh, that's so
oh,
funny. I
I
love
would
this.
say I would say that, oh, I've been looking for somewhere to rent. It's so hard, like just to make them feel like, like there's something, you know what I mean? Like there's something, you know what I mean?
Stop. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. And do you know why it's funny? Because I want to do the exact same thing now.
You have to. I applaud you all.
How funny. It's true. But also it kind of saves you because then you don't have to like delve. You've given them the surface thing and they feel like they're connected. You know what? I'm stealing that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
That's actually so sick.
because at least with that one, it's like it's not too deep, but it's like, do you know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah,
even
no,
because
I love it.
it's not like anyhow you start saying you got marital affairs, then you forget. With the renting one, I'm like, yeah, like, oh, I've been trying in London, like, oh, like it's so hard, like I don't know how you lot are doing it, like, and then I'll even lie to them. I'll be like, oh gosh, you know what I mean? Like rent in London, like so expensive. Like, oh, I don't know how to do it. Just lie. Tell them like, just lie.
You didn't even click. You didn't even know. Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
We're here for it. Okay, I'm conscious of time and I want to get to everyone's questions so they don't fall left out. Because don't you hate that when you've like sent in a question and then like no, somebody doesn't answer it? So I'll try and not keep you too much longer. Someone said, what advice would you give to your younger self starting out? But I kind of like, what advice would you just give to your younger self? So yeah.
Oh gosh, I wish I loved myself when I was younger. Like I really loved myself, and I was just okay in myself. Because I think just a lot of things happened that made me really doubt my appearance, who I am, especially being a dark skinned woman. And yeah, I think I just wish I loved myself a bit more. Yeah.
I hear it, and it's interesting how much you would have done had you felt more confident or had you felt like you deserved it. I guess in a way, how much like self-esteem really affects that. I hear it. I think it's a story a lot of black women, a lot of dark-skinned black women as well, know well. I hear it. Where do you see the podcast in 5 years? / what direction?
That question, boy. I have absolutely no idea. Because we're doing stuff that I would love to see us do in 5 years, like the ad like you talks about. That's something I would never even had imagined us doing, to get ads on the podcast. So I have absolutely no idea. I just want it to be a place where people can just feel that they can connect with. I want more people to listen. Probably that's it. Have more listeners and just be able to do live shows and just keep it as a safe place where me and Just still feel really happy doing it and just love doing it. That's all. Maybe that's it. Like maybe that's the goal, just to keep doing it until in 5 years time. Yeah.
I love that. And for everyone watching, she says she wants more listeners. So if you guys are not listeners, hello, the details are in the description box. Go and click it and be a listener. And it's actually great. It's fun. It's such a nice thing for a Monday as well. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I purposely did that. I said to Jazz, let's do it on Monday because like Mondays are so like poo. So hopefully this might lift up people's spirit a little bit.
It's nice. All right, there's 2 more questions if no more come in the chat. So you kind of answered this, but I just want to make sure we've covered it. Is there anything else you wanted to do outside of journalism?
Outside of journalism?
Yeah,
what, like, inside the journalism realm or like outside in a different field? Or
well, that's an interesting question. I don't know, but let's just make up what we want to answer. So I guess now, is there anything else you want to do as well as journalism?
No, not really. I mean, I'd love to do like hosting and stuff like that. Like as I said, like the Western Women stuff. That's literally what I wanted to do. Like hosting. My confidence is not there, and also I just feel like, yeah, my confidence is way not there. But I'd love to. One day.
One day now, tomorrow. I'll see you. You're so good. That no, I do you know what? Let me not chat because when I first did this A Drink With series, I was shaking. I still get nervous now. Like I have to pray. I'm like, Lord, please, please.
You're doing so well.
Don't gas me. No, it's so I know what you mean. It's like just building that confidence and just going for it. But I'm excited to see you hosting. Okay, love to see it. And the last question we've got actually, how do you stay motivated in aspects of your work or life? So how do you stay motivated?
Money. Money. I'm not gonna lie to you lot. Work can be so long, like especially when you've been at work for like years. Like, do you know what's so funny? I was speaking to like a really close friend today. She was just like, and she has a really really good job, and I was like, "Are you still enjoying it?" She was like, "No, I'm just there for the money." I was like, "Rah, like money is a motivator." Because when I rage quit my job one time, and I wasn't making no money, I said, "Oh." I I didn't have no motivation to work when I was a free. Like when I first became a freelancer, I was like, I don't have no motivation. And then when I saw the bills that I had to pay, I said, okay, that is the motivation to actually pay my bills, but also to want to better myself, and also to want to write about the stuff that I want to write about, or work with people who I want to work with, and enrich them, and give them the confidence to feel like they are amazing writers. And just, I think other things that motivate me is, it's just, I don't, to be fair, I do really love journalism. As much as I slag it off, like I do love it. Like when I interview people, that's my main fulfillment. Like that's when I feel like the happiest, and I get like endorphins. I do.
Oh no! Do you know what? As well, how blessed that you get to actually, you're in the industry that you love. Do you know what I mean? Like that's nice. It's nice to hear, because you don't always hear that, and getting paid, which is so that's really, really nice. Okay, I think let me just double check. I've got all the questions, so nobody doesn't like come for my head on Twitter, because I can't cope. Yes, that is all the questions. I'm just going to say thank you all so much for watching, for tuning in. Remind you guys to subscribe if you haven't, and also all of Victoria's details should be in the description box below. So please go and connect with her. She's already said she wants more listeners on her podcast, so please go and listen, and let's support her. And this is great. Guys, as you know, because of the technical difficulties at the beginning, I'm hoping this is going to be like on the channel, so do send the link to one of your friends. But if it's not, no, it will be, we'll have faith, it will be there. Victoria, my love, thank you so much for joining us.
Worries.
I really appreciate it. It's been amazing. I've learned so much, and I'm really excited. I was so excited to have you and to speak with you. So thank you very much.
No, thank you so much. This has been amazing. Thank you.
I'm gonna take you off the stream now, but I think I'm gonna stay. Wait, let me see. Does it work? Oh yes. Okay, it's just me. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Go relax, have a good evening, and I will see you guys later. Bye.